if you look at Islam, you have to ask yourself, is Islam a religion or is it a political ideology? Some say both, some say it's only a political ideology. But it is only the only so-called world religions that has such a tightly knit political ideology attached to so-called religion. And Sharia law is what we have to fear. And as you see here, Sharia law is actually Islamic law. It derives its rules and regulations and laws from the Quran and from the Hadith. The Hadith are writings about Muhammad that haven't been included in the Quran. From these writings, jurisprudence experts, imams, have derived Islamic law. Islamic law dictates to Muslims how to act, what to do, what not to do, when to do it, how to do it. One simple example. A young Muslim boy wants to marry a Christian girl. Is that allowed? No. Sure. Of course. They encourage Muslim men to marry you Christian women, because then you will convert to Islam and then you have less Christian ladies out there. Now the opposite. A Muslim girl wants to marry a Christian boy. Allowed? No. What happens? The family, if they try it or even if they're dating, they kill them. That's called honor killing, part of Sharia law. Now you may think this is barbaric, but it takes place in the United States all the time. There was a Muslim father in Dallas who had two beautiful young daughters. They didn't do anything. They just announced to dad, they said, "Dad, we want to start dating." Really? Get in my cab. Puts him in the cab, drives him around, stops in front of a hotel, takes his gun out, shoots them both in the head, and walks out. Honor kill. Somewhere in Dallas, a young girl was run down by her father. For what reason? What was the crime? She was too westernized. Bridget Gabriel, in her book, mentions another case in which a 16-year-old son rapes his own 14-year-old sister. The mother comes in and the daughter cleans up. She's in shock that her brother would do that. The mother goes into her bedroom, places two razor blades on the nightstand and says, "I want you dead by morning." The woman dishonored the family. Although she was raped by that idiot, she is to blame. Why? You're a woman. Women don't have a very good place in Islamic cultures. You got to wear all that garb. You got to walk behind the man. You can't drive. You can't leave the house. Another case in Britain, a young lady was dating a man from a different tribe. The family did not like it. They planned to kill her. She escapes. Then the father writes to the daughter saying, "If you don't come home, I'm going to murder your mother and your sister." So the daughter comes back home. The father and the uncle kill her, chop her up, put her in a suitcase, and bury her in the backyard. Sharia law. So the attacks on the World Trade Center were part of Sharia law, because in the Quran it states that you will fight the unbeliever. And unbeliever is clearly stated by Osama bin Laden as Crusaders and Jews. The difference here is that there are different tactics that these people use. You have Osama bin Laden, who thankfully is dead, used more hard jihad. But then you have certain groups in Saudi Arabia who feel that soft jihad, together with hard jihad, in pushing Sharia law is the best way. How do they do it? How many mosques do we have in the United States? Anybody know? Over 1,400. Now, when my dad was building our church in Chicago, Catholic Church, he spent thousands of hours raising money for the parish. I mean, he struggled. I mean, he did everything. God bless him. And so have all of you. The people put in their own money to raise churches and synagogues. In a Muslim environment, no worries. Saudi Arabia will build the mosque for you. You just show up. However, since Saudi Arabia builds it, they provide the imam. The imam comes from the Wahhabi sect. The Wahhabi sect of Islam is very radical. Essentially, they want to get everybody back to the 7th century, when Muhammad was around. Anybody see